Discover the power of one.
When I'm at home or wherever I am, I always turn to Church for All Nations to see what's going on over there. And I have learned a lot, and I learned this one. Pastor Mark told a joke that he heard from Ben Carson. He said there's this man that he buys great gifts for his mama. And he bought those, birds for his mom. Each one costs $5,000. They can jump, they can dance, they can talk. That's Southern talk. And so what happened is, he said, he gave it to him, and to her, and then he called her one day. He said, "How are they working for you?" She said, "Oh, honey, they were so delicious." He said, "Mom, you did not eat a $5,000 bird." She said, "Well, they did not speak. They did not say anything. If they talk." Our culture is facing the same thing. If we don't talk, if we don't speak, we're going to be taken out. Tonight, the message that I'm going to be talking about is very unique. It is not about the salvation, but it's about salvation of the United States of America. We're not talking here, I got to define this. This is not about hate to the Muslims. This is about to define who we need to go after and who are our enemies. We need to understand the difference between the two. And we're coming to this place that we have to understand what they are. But before I go, this is my testimony. It is 40 minutes. This is your gift. This is the life of Muhammad. Everybody needs to know who Muhammad is. It's called Sirah. There's two of those, so you don't have to fight over them. And the last one, but not least, is you need to know who you are and what is the church is all about. If you have not, do have it. This is yours, sir, Mr. Singer. So let's go through this. We went through this. In any kind of war, you must understand and know your enemy, everything about them. And to understand your enemy, it is the most important thing in our walk. We talked about all the mountains, but I'm going to skip through the mountains because this one here is about, the invasion that's coming on America, the mountain of religion. They call it dawah, it is in a culture of invasion, and it's called, reaching to the people. But when the Christian people ask the Muslim about their religion, it become hate crime, and it become racism, and become everything else. Now, these verses are in the Quran. If our Bible said this, we will be sent to jail. The Quran says the Christian and Jews, they eat and like beasts, apes, pigs, asses, vilest animal, loser, and whatso have you. They have this teaching in their heart. It is Islam. And the Muslims are captivated by this religion, and it is our job to set them free. Now, where job is to bring the truth. And what is the truth? Is when you speak the truth. And every Muslim is looking for this. The Muslim been in desert now for thousands of years. They want their inheritance. They want to come home, but nobody has invited them. If we don't invite them to their inheritance, they will never receive it. In the teaching, it says every country, this is where the Muslims, where the Muslims are minority, they ask for minority status. But when they are the majority, they have no minority status or right. So therefore, what I want to talk tonight about is the refugees issues and why we have to look at the refugees. We love refugees. We want the Muslims to come to the United States of America. We want them to come, and we want to reach out to them. Just like Bishop Joshua said, God is bringing them to our backyard. But we need to know the difference, and we need to get the right ones. We could not allow to bring warriors here ready to fight our culture and destroy our civilization from within. And this is the difference. So the refugee, the threat, the FBI tracking every day 48 ISIS that they cross from the border. Every day. in America. The FBI is chasing 900 ISIS leads, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, Hezbollah, and other factions. Some of these people are trained in EMP, which is electromagnetic pulse, which is to destroy the American civilization and infrastructure from within and our national security and sovereignty. These are the people that they are trained to come here to fulfill that purpose. And why am I talking about this? Because you need to see what's coming to the United States of America is not what we want. The FBI is chasing 1,000 activities every day, different cases. We have passed a bill. It prohibits the U.S. immigration in 1952. It's called McCarran and Walters Act. This is about Immigration and Nationality Act. This says if anyone has any other constitution than the United States of America Constitution, then they must be deported. And so these people that they are coming here, they are coming to establish their constitutional right in the United States of America. We are breaking the law by allowing them to come to the United States. And when we look at is our constitution equal to the Islamic constitution, they are the opposite polar, as we spoke about it before. Sharia dictate to all Muslims that the law, Islamic laws must succeed all laws, must replace all laws. But then the American Constitution, according to Islam, is founded by man, by people. Man created the American Constitution, so it could not be real. Only the true Constitution, which is given to them from Allah, is the true Constitution, which is their Sharia. And that's the ideology that they're coming in with. Now, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims in the last days. Is that a fact? Would you agree with me? Okay, let's check this out. These are statistics by Muslims immigrated to the United States of America or as refugees. 46% of them believe that anyone that speaks against Islam must face criminal charges. 12.5% support the death penalty, and they believe that anyone who blasphemes must be killed. 4.3% somewhat agreeing to death sentence for those who insult Islam. 9%, they are not sure, but they believe somebody has to be thrown in jail and fined. There are more than 107 Islamist nonprofit organizations in the United States of America. They are raising funds to destroy America from within, and they are here under 501c3, and they are establishing Islamic civilization. They are raising their fund from American people. Immigration. Syrian refugees, threats. 90% were actually engaged in war in Syria. 90%. These are the Pew statistics and many other statistics, which is I put the places where you can find them. Syria and Iraq, they have fought, and they're brought here already every year nearly 100,000 of these refugees in the last 2 elections of this administration. Obama administration celebrated on the 4th of July, they naturalized 7,000 immigrants. Many of them are refugees. President Obama has moved the vow to defend the U.S. oath of allegiance swore by newly naturalized aliens. The United States Citizenship, Immigration, and Services announced a policy updating to clarify that you don't have to swear allegiance to the United States anymore, and you can have the American citizenship. Therefore, America is opened for invasion, legal invasion from within, because when we look at Shahrazad, the New York Square bomber, when the judge, the one who stole the SUV, and he put this big bomb, and it didn't go off because he put fireworks to start it, and it didn't start. It was the grace of God. It would have killed 30,000 people. When the judge asked him, he said, didn't you swear to protect this nation? Didn't you take an allegiance to protect and save? He said, I did not swear to your God. I swore to my God. And so therefore in here, this one here will allow them to legally do this without lying. Since 2012, according to the author Paul Sprague, President Barack Obama has flooded the United States of America roughly 100,000 Muslim immigrants annually, and it's increasing. So a lot of these people are not making statistics. They are sent to refuge cities. Refugees and national security. These are the Muslim Brotherhood Arab Spring winter. The Muslim Brotherhood brought about the Arab Spring. And by the Arab Spring, America supported the Muslim Brotherhood. And after they supported this, it caused the second shift, which is the Arab winter. And what was that do? This is now causes a war. Turkey launched an attack on Syria today and started taking territory this morning. This war is about to escalate to new killer. Now Iran and Turkey will face each other face to face, two massive countries. All of it is happening because we allowed, as America, when America stepped back, what happened? We allowed the enemy to step forward. And now multipolarism, which is multi-power, instead of America being unipolar, what happened? These powers now are rising to take over every place America evacuated. And so therefore what happened? This is launching to new place. Why are they having the Arab Springs? The Arab Spring strategy is to create an Arab winter so the floods of the millions of these Muslims can go to Western civilization to occupy. And I will talk about it a little bit more. Millions supported Islamic terrorism from Iraq and Syria. 2007 poll showed 77% they are, financially supported ISIS. 1 in 5 Syrians supported ISIS. 3 in 5 supported al-Nusra, which is Al-Qaeda. 90% support Islamic terrorism because they hated America and Israel. 63% refused medical assistance from the United States of America. 63% did not want the United States help caring for Iraqi refugees in Syria when they came over. 90+% turned down the assistance from the United States of America. Ben Carson, when he went to visit Jordan and he met with the Islamic refugees, they said, we don't want American help. We don't want the American help. So why are we bringing refugees to here? 93%, they said, we don't want anything from the United States of America. We don't want your food. We don't want your medical. We don't want your help. So how and why we're allowing these massive numbers of refugees to come to the United States of America? And for what purpose? And where are the women or the elderly or the children? Why we're seeing young men coming here with their back on their back, ready to go? These are very important. Because we need to cover this and we need to vote against this invasion, Islamic invasion through immigration. Because to the Muslim, it's very important, and I will cover it in a second here. The Islamic State practice sex slavery. They have the right to rape. Because when we allow Sharia, Sharia says you can rape a foreigner. Anyone that she is not Muslim, or a young boy that he is not a Muslim, you have the right to rape him or have him as your slave. They have the right, to do all kinds of things. They do children's circumcisions according to their laws. These men and women are trained. They are not coming here to learn how to become jihadi. They already fought the battle, and they are right here on our ground in the United States of America, and there are a lot more to come. Young Syrian refugees coming to the U.S. and supported. They are loyal to Al-Qaeda and other groups, 70% of them. John Guandolo spoke about, he said, we have 30,000 foreigners came across from the southern border and came to the United States of America. Today, the Texas sheriffs, they're talking about this. The FEMA group, they are bringing buses and they are shuttling people from the borders to refuge cities all over the United States of America. These people did not come in here legally. They never asked for asylum. They just walked and they stepped on the ground of the United States of America and they declared that we are here, and now they are walking in sovereignty. These are very important. We understand that this nation, the borders, as long as our borders are open, we are open for assaults. And the reason why they're doing this, because they want America to move out from fighting radical Islam out there to the United States of America, that they will fight radical Islam from within. This is the strategy. Christian and Yazidis, they have not been brought to the United States of America. Statistics shows 98.6%, they are young Sunni Muslim that they've been brought to the United States of America. And the one they're slaughtered over there, they are the Christian and the Yazidis and the Kurds. So 70% supported, from Raqqa. They came from Raqqa. Who is the people from Raqqa? They are the most radical. And that's what they're bringing, 70% from that area. Why are they concentrating on the most radical? Because they want the most radical move to happen in the United States of America. 13% of the Syrian refugees admitted that they supported ISIS, and they reflected that 10,000 refugees, that they came to the United States already in the beginning. 1,300 supported ISIS by fighting with them and financed them and fed them through the whole crisis. Syrian refugees were asked to list the greatest threat to Islam. They said 29%, they said Iran, 22%, they said Israel, 19%, they picked America, and 10% says Islamic terror. And we are bringing them here, and America is known as Judeo-Christian nation. So now we will be facing all this nonsense that's coming to our nation. 73%, they oppose United States airstrikes on ISIS. 33%, they don't want the United States to destroy ISIS. 73% of the Syrian refugees view foreign policy as destructively. So if they view our constitution is destructive and they are coming here, what shall we expect? It's not funny. Syria, the Syrians are fighting against each other, and they have different groups. When we incorporate them here to the United States of America, these factions, they're going to turn against each other here in the United States of America. Then we're going to have to feel the wrath because they will take the war into our streets. Through the entire Syrian civil war, the U.S. has only allowed one Syrian, Yazidi, and 53 Christian in 2015. And these are the links where you can get those statistics. They are linked over there. For those who want to take a picture of this, do it fast or forever hold your peace. This is one of the biggest mosques been opened in the United States of America. It's opened by our president and the president of Turkey. $100 million. It seats 3,000 Muslims. But this is what's so unique about this. When we see all those elements, these are camps, Islamic camps. This is the mosque. Then you have Islamic school, and then you have Islamic center. This is no-go zone area. Now, this is here, all Islamic home built for the project. This will start bringing Muslim all over, and this soon will be no-go zone area where American people could not enter without permission of Islam or imams. This is another one. This is in Tennessee. This is what the Tennesseans are talking about, and they are so troubled. This is a vast mosque. This is an Islamic school. This is an Islamic center. This is no-go zone area. The Muslims have bought 8 square miles all the way around, and now they're going to build Islamic villages, Islamabad. You know, when the refugees are brought to the United States of America, guess where they're going to go, especially those who are crossing from the border. That's where they're going to go. Look at this. President Hollande of France, he declared that France is at war. France has no-go zone because the Muslims don't want to assimilate to the culture. And so what happened is, now they are at war. Instead of sending police, now they're sending the military. So if France could not go and fight in different states because they're trying to fight inside their country. It's the exhaustion of the European civilization, Western civilization, so they cannot be on the road. Al-Hujra. This is a very important place. This is here when a Muslim go from one place to another as Hujra, which is in English called refugees. This is when Islamization took place. This is when Muhammad went from peaceful to radical. This is today is practiced in the White House. They celebrate the month of Ramadan where Al-Hujra took place, and this is where Islam went from peaceful to radical. Today we are facing this because Al-Hujra is implemented into this refugee things. This is not about hate of the Muslim. God loves the Muslim. He made them in His image. He loved them, and He gave them promise to Hagar and to Ishmael. He said, I will make the lad a great nation. I will bless him. Even before he was born, He told Abraham, He said, through your seeds, I will bless the whole world. Look, but He gave them oil still. God is going to bring the Muslim, the next 2 years, the biggest exodus from Islam is going to take place in the history of the world. You're going to see Muslims coming to Christ. Many of them are fed up with the nonsense. And God is doing something new. You know why? Because all of it is in the Bible. If we read the Bible, the Spirit of the Lord will open it to our eyes. That's the biggest TV screen you'll ever read. This is our Constitution. Do you know what your Constitution said? The French, they said, the current U.S. administration are pushing to import an additional 10,000 more people to from Middle East as refugees. Sister Hillary, goal, y'all, is to import over 1,550,000 Muslim refugees. America will never be the same again. You know why France is having issues? Because Islam went from 5% to 10%. Anytime Islam goes at 10%, there is no return. This is when the flood starts taking place, and this is when you start facing the issues. The jihadists end up in no-go zone area. So when they cross the United States, they move to those no-go zone area. No-go zone area are fortresses. So they hide over there. Nobody knows who they are, where they are, and what they're doing, and who's financing them. And they become teachers. And why they are not assimilating and they becoming part of all this? Because the imams are themselves, when they teach the true Quran, the true Sharia, they convert people from moderate to radical. And so therefore what happened, when the Muslim is engaging in turning into the radical, into the authority, it's an act of apostasy, punishable by death. So if a Muslim anyone says, this is what's happening over there, you need to go grab them, then this man or this woman must be killed. So a Muslim could not talk about this. Even those, what we refer to them as good, we don't refer to them as good Muslim, but moderate Muslims. And we need to understand what's a moderate Muslim and how to define between radical and moderate. Would you like to hear that? Yes. The radical is here on a mission to change the culture. The moderate, they don't care. They want to be away from Islam. They saw what Islam did. How do we define and know who is the radical? Because they want Sharia. Anyone that asks for Sharia, they're radical. And when they tell you that Islam is truth and they start condemning the American culture, these are not moderate. These are radical. Because if you want to come and live in our nation, you got to live in our way of life. If you don't want to, then by all means, go home. At 6.5 million Muslim in France. Today, France, it's at the major social explosion because the failure of the Muslim to integrate into the society. At the rate that we're bringing Muslim refugees to America, they will not be able to integrate or assimilate. So therefore, we are not going to be able to turn around. When we tell them you don't have to swear allegiance to America, they will not assimilate. We're giving them carte blanche to exercise their life as they please. As I said, the imams are the one they causing the issues. The policy of the city geographic information system said Islamic Sharia rapidly displacing French civil law. Government reports said that the Muslim immigrants are increasingly rejecting French value and instead emerging themselves into Islamic radicalism and Sharia. 2005, Muslim mobs torched 9,000 cars and 40,000, in one day, and 40,000 every year. Wow. This is what's happening in France. It's a nightmare. And the French are afraid of the Muslim now. More than 40% of those under the 25 years of age, they are jobless, they live on welfare, and they suck in the milk of the nation. And they're plagued with drugs and dealing, they suffer violence. The highest rate of violence and crime in France. Even the police could not enter there without the military, the army, to enter there and to change things. Parisian suburbs are becoming separate Islamic society. They are no longer part of France. They are a nation within France. Why? Because they were weak. Because socialism allows such thing to happen. America, we don't have socialism. We have nationalism. We love our country. We're willing to die for our country. So therefore, they are trying to break the barriers so they can enter our nation and change our nation instead of we change them. %41 of the non-reached people are Muslims. That's the latest statistics. 59% is all the other group. Today, Islam count at 1.8 billion. The world religion, Christian, still the highest number in the world. They are at 36%, Islam at 26%. All other Gentile, other folks at 36%. Right there. I have a clicker. This is very important. The overall mosque in the United States of America today, it rose from 1,209 in 2000 to 1,462 in 2007 to 2,106 in 2010. Increase of 74%. In 2015, over 3,000 mosques in the United States of America. That's without the Islamic centers, they will become the Supreme Courts. This is the map to the United States of America and all the Muslim mosques right now. If you look at this, you can see that they're going after the Bible Belt. If you look at Texas, 302 mosques. Florida, 153. Tennessee, 40. California, 525. New York, 507. All of it, they're populating our nation. Why? Because they are building, they are trying to occupy. So are they building for the new generations to come? This we talked about. I will not talk about a whole lot. This is Jama'at al-Furqa. They are raiding our nation. And they're coming about, and they are establishing Islamic terrorist camp throughout the United States of America. And the new map it's putting this one to shame. This is an old one. The new one is far greater. And this is all the states and what they are. If you want this PowerPoint, I can give it to you if you want to use it to change things. But if you don't, please don't ask for it, because it'll be a waste of my time and your time. Okay? This is what the group that I came with, which is the Muslim Brotherhood. Allah is our objective. The Prophet is our leader. The Quran is our law. And our highest aspiration is to kill ourselves by killing others. This is the message that I came to establish. Jihad against America is our religious duty. But guess what? God today said, I did not forget Ishmael and the promise that I gave to him and to his father and to all the people, in the Muslim world. The other day I said 6 million Muslims come to Christ every day. That was a mistake. 6 million Muslims come to Christ every year. So I apologize for my mistake. But ultimately, God has a new plan, and we're going to see the Muslim coming about, but we don't want the refugees, that they come in here and force upon our nation. We want the refugees that they have families, that they want to make the difference.